hope you're all doing great. I'm here to distract you. And if it wasn't obvious enough, today we're going to talk about Harry Potter. I was so excited to talk about Harry Potter because for those who know me, you know that it's one of my favorite subjects to talk about. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. You can see with the merch, I have so many things to show you. Let's do this! First, I'm going to start by talking about me as a witch, get to know me as a witch, my house, my wand. I'm going to talk about my favorite characters, favorite creature, whatever, then talk about what I dislike a bit more, then I'm going to talk about books, the movies, and react to your answers that you gave me on my Instagram story. And bonus, I'm going to talk about Harry Potter and the Cursed Child and Fantastic Beasts. So, let's do this. So, like I said, I'm going to start by presenting me as a witch. I took the test on my Wizarding World. For me, it's like, if you haven't done this official test, you can't tell me what house you are. You need to do the test. Plus, it's beautiful. It really is beautiful. The designs, the colors, everything is great. And it changes all the time. If you're doing it simultaneously with someone in front of you, you won't have the same questions. So it's really interesting. You should really do it. So yeah, I'm a Hufflepuff. My Patronus is a Tonkinese cat. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. And with you right now, I'm going to do the test of my wand. So let's do this. Discover your wand. First of all, would you describe yourself as average height, tall, short? I'm clearly short. But I love it, by the way. And your eyes. But mine are actually, I think, they're dark brown. Dark brown or brown? Let's go with brown. Question 3. Was the day on which you were born an even number, an odd number? An odd number. Do you most pride yourself on your determination, imagination, resilience, intelligence, originality, optimism, kindness? I would either say originality, because I'm often told that I'm not like everybody else, or my optimism, because I try to be as positive as I can. But I have to admit, sometimes I fail, sometimes I'm depressed like other people, so I guess my originality. Traveling alone down a deserted road, you reach a crossroad. Do you continue left towards the sea, right towards the castle, ahead towards the forest? Ugh. I'd say forest because I love forests. I don't know, there's something so calm about forests. Do you most fear fire, darkness, isolation, heights, small spaces? Oh my god, all of it! I don't know. Darkness. I think darkness is forever my worst. I start imagining things and seeing things. Darkness. In a chest of magical artifacts, which would you choose? Silver dagger, ornate mirror, glittering jewel, bound scroll, golden key, dusty bottle, black glove. Black glove. It's useless, but hey. Woo! I got my wand. So it's a hazel wood with a dragon heartstring core, 9.5 and brittle flexibility. And last but not least, on your Wizarding passport, they ask you your favorites. So, favorite character, I have Luna Lovegood, obviously. Favorite spell or potion, ridiculous.
This class is ridiculous.
Places and transport, Shell Cottage. If you don't know what Shell Cottage is, it's a little house that Bill and Fleur have. And it seems so calm, so peaceful, so quiet. I don't know. I love cottages. I feel like I would really like this place. Beasts and beings, moon calves.
Oh, hello, fellas. All right. Take it easy. Oh, there it is.
Objects and food, Newt's case, obviously. I would love to go and see that. So that's it for the Wizarding Passport. So if I were a wizard, I would be a Hufflepuff, obviously. My favorite subject would be charismatical creatures and herbology and transfiguration. I would love to be an animagus. I want to be a magic zoologist afterwards, after graduating from Hogwarts, obviously. My favorite character, as I said, is Luna Lovegood. She's, for me, pure good. There's not one flaw in her. She's so optimist, so positive, so joyful. She's just perfect for me. She's adorable. I love her. And Ivana Lynch does a great job doing her, and I love her as well. Characters I like least, Harry Potter. I hate main characters. When I watch a show, the main character is always the one I'm gonna like least, because I don't like when it's all about one person. I know the book is called Harry Potter, I know, but I don't know. I think it's too much about him. I don't like his personality. I feel like it's always about him. He's a drama queen, all about Harry Potter. Poor guy, he lost his parents. Neville also, but it's not about him. He's not being a drama queen about it. And when Cedric dies, Cedric, I love him, by the way. Anyway, when Cedric dies, he's like all drama queen, like, oh my god, Cedric died because of me. I lost Cedric. Dude, you didn't even know him. He wasn't even your friend. You didn't even like him. So stop, please. That does not give you an excuse to talk badly to your friends. And by the way, there's a scene in the book where he yells to Hermione and Ron. I think Hermione's to the point of crying, but she's actually the one apologizing, like, oh my god. No, I really can't with Harry Potter. I really can't. He's always putting himself in danger, and everybody has to save him, and people will die for him. If you haven't understand, Harry Potter is my least favorite character. Just to show off my beautiful Hufflepuff, obviously. I also have this bathrobe. I kind of like wear it all the time. You look like a witch. It's so funny. Look, it's I love it so much. So Hufflepuff. But yeah, I love it so much. It's so cozy. It's a bathrobe, but I actually wear it all the time, especially these days because I'm on lockdown and I'm cold and I have nothing else to do than just to stay in this all day. My boyfriend bought it for me this year for my birthday, and he bought me this squishy nifflers. Like, it's super squishy. You can do whatever you want with him. And he comes back to place. I love him. He's so cute. I love nifflers. But they're not my favorite magical creature. And also, my wand. I actually bought Luna Lovegood's wand. Fun fact about this wand. I bought it when I was in London. I went there with my best friend. I bought this one on a Tuesday because Wednesday we were going to the Harry Potter studio tour in London. I wanted to have a wand to be there. And I was like, I need to buy my wand before we get there. She had her Sirius Black wand. So we went completely, like, unplanned. We found ourselves at Leicester Square. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing it right. We found ourselves there, so it was next to the theater where there's the Cursed Child representation. And nearby there was a Harry Potter shop, and I was like, that's a sign of God, I need to buy my wand, and so I did. Now I think it's the right time to go and check your answers and react to them. So first I asked you guys which Hogwarts house you were in. So 37.5% of you are Gryffindor. Fine, whatever. 25% are Hufflepuff. Hey, welcome to my house. And 37.5 are Slytherin. I have 0% Ravenclaw. It is crazy. I think I've never met a Ravenclaw. Oh yes, no, my colleague, she's a Ravenclaw, and she's the first one I know. So yeah, Slytherin. I know my boyfriend is a Slytherin. He considers himself a Gryffindor, but he did the test. He's a Slytherin. One of my best friends is Slytherin, and the other one is a Gryffindor. I don't talk to her anymore. We're not friends. Kidding! It's true, I do have a problem with the Gryffindors, but it's because of the way the books were written. It's all about them, and I think it's really sad because Hufflepuffs and Ravenclaw are really put to the side. We barely talk about them, and it's all about Gryffindors, and I guess that is mostly the main reason why I have a problem with this house. And Hufflepuff, I mean, it's J.K. Rowling's favorite house, by the way. Need I say more? Next! The next question I asked you guys was if you had read all the books. 50% of you said yes, 50% of you said no. I'm not really surprised because most of the time people know the movie. I'm gonna be honest, I first knew Harry Potter with the movies, and recently I finished reading all the books because I didn't really like reading before, and I discovered this love for reading. And so I started with Harry Potter. I loved it. And I tried to make it last for so long because I love this feeling when you're reading, when you're completely diving into a universe and you sleep it, you dream it, you breathe it. I just loved it so much. So I understand that 50% haven't read the books, but you really should. It brings even more to the universe. And there's so many things I left out, but I'm going to talk about that later. The next question I asked you guys was if you had seen all the movies. 80% of you said yes, 20% of you said no. I thought it would have been 100%, but because for me, Harry Potter is so classic, but I guess that some people, they're not that interested. Maybe it's the fact that I said all of the movies, but for me, if you're a real fan, you just watch them all. So it means 20% of you aren't real fans. I shouldn't say that. That is so mean. Oh my god. Then I asked you guys who were your favorite characters. Someone say Harry Potter. Well, by someone I mean my best friend, and we do not agree on this subject for several reasons that I've already said, so I'm not going to talk about it more. Another person said Snape. It's not that I dislike Snape, because I don't. He has so many flaws. I get it. At the end of the book, at the end of the movie, he does get a redemption, and we realize all the things that have been happening and all the suffering, all the risk he has been taking. I understand this, but for me, the redemption and knowing all this should not erase all the things he did before. We need to remember that first of all, he was actually a Death Eater. He was actually a bad person, even if he did change his mind because of Lily. Other than that, he still harassed students for so many years. I understand that he had a problem with Harry because, who wouldn't? The guy's obnoxious. Anyway, it's not a reason to harass the kid. Plus, he harassed Neville. He had a real problem with the Gryffindors, and I get it because when he was young, he was harassed himself by Gryffindors. But if you're a better person, you do not repeat what has been done to you. So, he's not a bad person, but I would not consider him one of my favorite characters because he still did some really bad things in his life. And even if some of them are explained, it can't be forgiven or forgotten anyways. So. Another name that was given was Albus Dumbledore. Same here. I don't have anything particular against him. I have so many questions about him. I don't know what to think about him yet because I don't know everything about his story. What we know about him, I feel he's kind of a manipulator. He clearly manipulated Harry and everybody to, he brought Harry to the slaughterhouse. Clearly, he knew what was going to happen. Don't find him really honest. I feel like he's kind of selfish sometimes. I feel like he's also kind of a hypocrite. He's done a lot of good, but let's not forget that when he was young, he was friend with Grindelwald. Grindelwald? Grindelwald? Who says Grindelwald? Who says Grindelwald? They shared the same opinion, the same values, which was for the greater good. I get that he might feel bad and he wants to forget that, and he wants to move on, and he's clearly done everything to be forgiven, but let's not forget about that. I'm just okay, those characters are fine, but let's not forget that they're not 100% pure, like Luna Lovegood, for example. Moving on, so now we're going to talk about the books and the movies. Let's talk about the books first. I love this collection because, you know, the covers are so shiny and they're really beautiful. I try to ask myself which book was my favorite. I hesitate a lot between Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince and Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows. I hesitated between both because in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince we got to know more about the Voldemort's backstory and how he made all his Horcruxes and more about his family line, and I thought it was really interesting because I like knowing more about the other characters. Before having only watched the movies and reading this, I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! I was like so mind blown. I really could advise you guys to read the books because there's so many things you do not know if you haven't read the books. The Deathly Hallows also because we got to know more about Dumbledore's backstory. There's still so many questions that I hope are going to be answered in Fantastic Beasts. We get to know him with Grindelwald, which was a big part of his youth. We don't know, does he love him? Were they romantically involved? Or what happened to Ariana? Like, I really want to know that. I loved getting to know him a bit more and making him this less perfect character that everybody thinks he is. Like, he has some flaws. I loved getting to know also about Neville's backstory and his parents, because watching the movie, I thought they were dead, but they actually aren't. Now, talking about the movies, which movie was my favorite one? Fun fact, as a kid, I would watch Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban non-stop. My parents were like, Alexa, you cannot do this. Change. Like, look at the other one. I would not care. I would watch this one, and it's at a point where I actually anticipate and know the intonations by heart because I've watched it way too much. But is it my favorite one? I don't think so. I loved the fourth one because Cedric, obviously, but because it was different. There were new houses, new people, new characters. I do like also Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, the movie. A lot of people criticize it because it's so flat and there's nothing really going on. But I do like all the relations between characters. I love it when there's love, when there's hate. But it's not just about the battle or about Harry. Sometimes it's about other people than just Harry Potter. I loved seeing Ron with another girl, seeing Hermione being jealous. All those, personality, human relations I really did like. But I was really disappointed to not have Snape's backstory. When I was saying earlier that I like backstories, I loved discovering about Voldemort's backstory, about Dumbledore's backstory, but I also loved discovering about Snape's backstory because that's when you realize that Gryffindors are not so perfect, that Harry Potter's father was not that perfect. And getting to know about the Marauders just was really, really interesting. I was so sad that we didn't get to see more of the Marauders and of Snape's background, so I was kind of disappointed because the book is called Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, but we barely got to know about the Half-Blood Prince. Whatever. So I guess for the movies, it's harder for me to choose a favorite one because I like them all, but I don't love them as much as I loved reading the book, I guess. Oh my god, yes! What part did I hate not seeing in the movies? Charlie Weasley. Reading the books, I was really attracted to this character. Passionate about dragons, about creatures, so obviously I agree. He's the one who sends people to rescue Norbert the dragons in the first movies. He's clearly here and present for the fourth movie, for the fourth book, for the tournament. He's the one who brings the dragon. So I was really disappointed not to see him in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, the movie. I was also really disappointed to not get to see Winky, which I didn't know about before reading the books, obviously, but I felt like she was a big part of the plot, and she was totally kicked out. But I get it, you cannot put everything in the movies, but I was kind of disappointed because Winky was such an annoying character, but you'd love to have characters like that because, it just put so many layers to a story than just flat characters, you know, she brought something. So I was sad not to see her there for sure. To sum it all up, what I wanted to see more in the movies that I got to read in the books were to develop more other characters and to less surround everything on Harry and to really get to know other people's backstory because it makes you understand them. So now quickly I'm going to talk about Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I asked you guys on Instagram how many of you had read the play. 75% of you have said no and 25% of you have said yes. I'm not surprised because there's so many critics on this play. Personally, I loved it. I don't know, I don't want to make assumptions, but I feel like people are not going to read the play just because so many people were disappointed, so they're not even going to take the chance to read it and make their own opinion. As usual, I don't care about what other people think, so I bought it and I read it and I loved it. Really, I want a movie about it. It's amazing. I love it. Sure, it's not written the same way because it's a play, not a novel, but you get to know more about the characters, you know, and you get to see the main characters, you know, as parents and how they're dealing with it. Without spoiling anybody, if you want to read it, you should. But you get to see characters you thought you lost, or you haven't heard about for a long time. You get to see Draco and Harry's relationship from now on. You get to know their kids and how they're going. No, really, I really feel like people are not letting it the chance it deserves. It's really, really good. And the twist at the end, oh my god! I'm not giving any spoilers, but the twist at the end, I did not expect it. I did not expect it. I'm sorry if I'm screaming, but I loved it. You guys, read it. Really, it's amazing. Moving on to Fantastic Beasts. For my personal pleasure and culture, I bought Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them by Newt Scamander. You can find, like, alphabetically all the magical creatures that exist, and I think it's super interesting as a fan of magical creatures. For Fantastic Beasts, I don't really have to do a comparison between the book and the movie because those are screenplays, so it's exactly the same thing. On my Instagram, I asked you guys if you had seen the Fantastic Beasts movies. 63% of you had said yes, 37% of you had said no. Again, why not? Maybe there aren't Harry Potter fans, Fantastic Beasts fans in my followers. It's okay. Then I asked you if you had read the screenplay. 25% of you had said yes, 75% of you had said no. I get it. Once again, it's the same thing, so if you're not a huge fan, you don't have to read them. Personally, I loved the first movie. I guess the main reason why I love the Fantastic Beasts franchise is because it's clearly the universe that I love. It's magical creatures. It's a Hufflepuff character. When I said earlier I didn't like main characters, that's like 99% true, except for Newt. For me, he's the perfect representation of a main character, of a hero. I love this character. Eddie Redmayne is really cute, but he does an amazing job, and the character of Newt is so lovable. He's so clumsy. He's so an introvert. I totally relate to that, and it feels good to see an introvert as a main character. He's antisocial. He prefers creatures than humans. Dude, I get it. He's so good. And he's, for me, the opposite of Harry Potter. He does not want fame. He does not want to fight. He just wants to be left alone with his creatures. I love him. So definitely, Newt Scamander is a huge reason of why I love the franchise. And the characters are so lovable. Jacob Kowalski, I loved having a character that was human. He's clearly us in the movie. If we were in the movie, if we were in the story, as humans, we would be like, what the is going on? I love him because he's like, okay, I don't understand what's going on. This is totally out of my league, but fine, I'm going there. Whatever, what can happen? He's so lovable, he's so nice, he's so funny. The second movie I did prefer. I loved discovering about Credence's backstory, about Leta Lestrange's backstory, or getting to know Leta Lestrange, by the way. We get to know a bit more about Dumbledore, about Grindelwald, and it's actually quite interesting. And right now, I'm really, really waiting for, you know, the upcoming movies, because I have so many questions I want answered. I think they did a really good job on this second movie because, you know, there's the suspense, there's the tension, there's so many questions. And that's what I like about this franchise, is that it's not all about Newt. He's the main character. He's a perfect main character. But it's about so many people at the same time. You know, sometimes about Tina, sometimes it's about Queenie, sometimes it's about Jacob, Newt, Grindelwald. I think it's really interesting. But yeah, can't wait to see the rest. We're done. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please comment below what house you are, what you thought about this, your opinion basically on what I said, on the book, on the movies, on the characters. I want to know. I want to talk more about the subject. I could talk about it for so long, but I feel like I've talked about it enough right now. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like it. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content. Go check my previous videos. Thanks for watching, you guys. See you soon.